Hey, what's up, guys? Steve here, and I know I took a week off last week with my Daytona 500 review because I had bronchitis and I couldn't speak, so it makes it a little tough to do the reviews if you can't speak. But I'm back this week for my Phoenix review and also my Las Vegas preview as we look back at week 2 of the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. Carl Edwards, boy, if I told you, if I had a list of drivers that I think I'd have to put together some NASCAR inside line footage for this week, Carl Edwards would probably have been at the bottom of the list, and not because of talent, just because of his continuing quest from last year to be the Invisible Man. The second place chase hangover appears to be over, and Carl Edwards appears to be back with a strong run at Phoenix. It's nice to see that. Too talented of a driver to be held down for that long. All of last year, with a nightmarish season for him not making the chase, too good of a driver. And like we see, and like I think we're going to see a lot more coming up, the more talented drivers are going to come to the forefront with these new cars. It allows them to drive a little bit, allows them to race, a lot of open racing. I think you're going to see the more talented drivers coming to the forefront, and that being Carl Edwards, as you see the 99 make it back to victory lane. That also puts him in a great position for the chase. As we saw last year, couple wins got you the wild card. He's already got one in week 2. I definitely see him getting another one down the line. That too really puts you in a secure position for at least the wild card in the chase. And it'd be nice to see Carl Edwards take another shot at the trophy. As far as the Jimmy Johnson restart at the end, I don't really know what he was complaining about. Yeah, Carl Edwards may have slowed up a little bit, but like Jimmy even said himself, NASCAR gives a lot of leeway as far as the pace going up to the start-finish, and they do give the leader that honor of, or rather advantage, to lead the pace coming to the start-finish. He used it to his advantage. Brad Keselowski was going to give him a huge push anyway, so I don't really think it was that big of a deal. The best car won the race. If it weren't for that caution in the last couple laps, Carl Edwards was going to run away with that. Jimmy Johnson was not going to catch him in those last few laps. So the best car won anyway. That's really what you want to see. You don't want to see a last caution cost somebody a race, especially Carl Edwards coming off of 70 starts without a victory. So it's nice to see that the best car, even at the end with the restart, still got the win anyway. So sometimes it doesn't go that way, but it was refreshing to see it go that way for a change. Dale Earnhardt Jr., I really want to talk to you about him for a moment. Last year, from the 88 team, we saw a lot of consistency. And this year, now what we're seeing, at least in the first couple weeks, I know it's really early, but I really think that this new car, Darrell Waltrip's DW couldn't say it enough, how the new car is really playing into his hands. And I think you're seeing that already, and you're going to see a lot more of it in the weeks to come. Last year, they were consistent. They got the win at Michigan. They were top 10 all year. That got them a pretty high spot in the chase. Now, I think you're going to see you're going to see higher consistency, if that makes sense. You're going to see top 5 consistency, and I think in the next few weeks, you're going to see the victories. You're going to see at least one in the next few weeks, and then 2 or 3. I'd be shocked if it weren't at least 2 or 3 this year for Junior in the 88 car. I don't pick him this week in Las Vegas. We'll get to that in a second. I think it's another old-school driver who's going to come through and show his talents finally. He's been itching and raring to go. We'll get to that in a second. I just want to finish up or some of the Phoenix stuff. As you see me pull the Denny Hamlin on every lap here, I'm going way low to the inside, which this is still the car of tomorrow that are in these clips. But the new car, it seemed like they didn't want to do that. And DW explained it with a splitter on the bottom of the new car, not wanting to mess that up, going low on the apron there. That was interesting. I didn't really understand that there was the difference there, but that was funny. They don't want to mess up the downforce, and I can understand that because the new car is designed to race. If you mess that up, you're going to have a hard time with that air racing. But this is the first week that I listened to one radio completely. I usually listen to the scanner. I go around as best I can, but this week I just was curious, so I wanted to listen to Jeff Gordon's radio. And I was kind of surprised that he only got a ninth place finish, top 10, and they were saying on the radio solid top 10. But I'm surprised it wasn't a little bit higher. He was really pleased with the car the first quarter of the race, the first third of the race. They didn't want to change a whole lot. He was tight a little, I think, into 2 in the middle of 2, but the rest of the time he was pretty happy with the car. And they worked their way back. They didn't have the speed late in the day that they needed to keep up front. And I was surprised by the finish there. I really thought they'd have a better day. I do expect more and better things from Jeff Gordon this year. As I expected the drivers with a little bit more talent to be pushed to the forefront. And also with those Hendrick engines, it's tough to keep those guys down for very long. As you see with Jimmy Johnson every single week. I mean, granted, their setups are the best in the game, but Jimmy Johnson, you hear a lot of them all raced, and all of a sudden he's right there at the end with a chance to win on the restart. That happens every week, and I think you're going to see Jimmy Johnson have another high position in the chase. I was questioning it maybe at the beginning of the season, but you can't go up against five-time. You'll get burned more often than you won't. So I think you're going to see Jimmy Johnson with a high spot as we come closer to the chase. I like Mark Martin. Boy, he had a fast car. I would be shocked if he weren't going to win that race. He's won there before. He had a fast car. And the Toyotas are really showing their speed again, which is nice. The Joe Gibbs engines are showing the speed. I was shocked that he had a little bit of that mechanical issue. He had to come back down. He had the vibration. He had to come back down on the green flag pit stop, the unexpected, unscheduled pit stop that cost him his position. He went down a lap. He got the lucky dog. He fought his way back. Mark Martin had speed all day long, and it was kind of a shame to see him have to drop back. But it was nice. When Jeff Gordon's not up there or Junior's not up there, I really hope for the Michael Waltrip guys to be up there. I like Michael Waltrip. He seems like a really nice guy, and he built his team up from nothing. And it really is cool the way that the progress that they made last year when they switched the engines and they switched the chassis, the aerodynamics of what they were doing to make a more competitive race car. And it was really cool. It's really cool when they get success from what they've come from in such a short period of time. So it's nice to see Mark Martin up there front in the Aaron's Dream Machine. Couldn't quite get it done. I expect more speed from them. I expect to see some better showings from Clint Boyer this week. I would be surprised if he weren't competing for the win. So let's look ahead a little bit to Las Vegas this week. The guy I'm looking to win this week, someone we haven't really seen all the raw power yet. We haven't really seen the expert driving yet. You haven't really heard a lot of them this year just quite yet. But I think that's going to change this week. Las Vegas, my projected winner is going to be Tony Stewart. 23rd in the points. I think he's hungry to show what he can do in the new car. I think he's hungry to show what he could do with these Hendrick engines. Tony Stewart's going to have a good drive this week. You can write that one down. I would be very shocked if Tony Stewart weren't towards the front. I think Dale Earnhardt Jr. is going to do well over the next few weeks. But Tony Stewart next week in Las Vegas on that mile-and-a-half track is going to show his chops in the new car. And I think you're going to have the 14 car in Victory Lane when it's all said and done. I'm looking forward to Las Vegas. I'm really looking forward to the first mile-and-a-half track coming up this season. Really get to showcase the cars, the new cars, see what they can do. They're going to have a lot of downforce again this week like they did last week in Phoenix. It's not quite like the Daytona setups. Well, of course, it's not going to be the same, but it's really going to be different this year. They're going to have a lot of downforce like they had in Phoenix. You're going to see a lot of speed. You're going to see a lot of driving. The cars are sensitive to the air. I think it'll be interesting. I think it'll be an interesting race on Las Vegas on Sunday. So anyway, 4 o'clock Eastern on Fox. Watch that. Look forward to some of the cool racing that you're going to see on Sunday afternoon. As far as everyone's like Danica. She just had a bad week. They didn't have a good car all week, and she knew it going in. They were just trying to maintain what they had, not try to lose as many points. And then, of course, she gets in the wreck, which is a violent wreck. But that's good for the new car. They mentioned it during the broadcast. It gives you a little bit of confidence when that new car with the safety, when you get wrecked like that and you're able to walk away, where actually the crush panels, that foam that they put in the door for the crush panel, actually gets ripped away and you're able to walk away from the accident. That does give you a lot of confidence going forward that you can race hard, and if things go wrong, you're not going to get injured in the accident. So Danica had a bad week. Look for them to bounce back next week. Those guys are too smart over there. When you have a lot of smart people, the driving will take care of itself a lot of times. It's good to have a talented driver, but when you have that many smart people, good things will happen. She's got a ton of smart people around her, so watch for some higher results there. Till next week, we'll go with the Las Vegas review next week, and then we'll look ahead. Like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff, and we'll see you. Have fun watching the race.